Today marks the 125th birth anniversary of the liberator of our country and the first Prime Minister of India, Netaji Subhas Chandra Bose. It was all due to his selfless, arduous and tireless efforts that today we Indians live in a free India and that our beloved country gained her independence from the clutches of the colonial rule.
I feel that the history of our freedom struggle should be rewritten and Netaji must be duly recognized. On his 125th birth anniversary, let all of us who are going to be the next generation of India strive to work on his principles so that we no longer remain a developing nation. Netaji had been an epitome of patriotism. Till his alleged disappearance, he did everything he could so that our beloved motherland could gain her independence.
When Japan also was losing the war to the Allied forces, Netaji had plans of going to Russia to secure support of the Russians for India's independence. Now, this is something remarkable because, in such an hour of despair, also, he didn't give up.
His perseverance is something to be duly admired. Now, people do argue that Netaji shook hands with Hitler, so why should we admire him?
Well, the Holocaust hadn't begun back then, and secondly, Netaji had shaken hands with Hitler only to gain support for India and her independence. He didn't support the Holocaust, which is a very well known fact. In fact, he had a Jewish friend known as Kitty Gertie in Germany, and he advised her to leave Germany for the USA. This has been clearly mentioned in two books, The India's Biggest Cover-Up and What Happened to Netaji in Detail, which are credible books and a must-read. Another very remarkable thing to mention here is that even in the month of January, Netaji went all by himself from Kolkata to Berlin using the land route, which is one of the most treacherous land routes, by crossing the Hindu Kush mountains, the Pamir mountains, the cold plateau of Afghanistan, eventually on to Moscow, and finally into Germany. He persisted even when the then British Prime Minister had given orders to shoot him on sight. This is his courage, which we must all follow. And while returning from Germany after the Azad Hind Arzi Hukumate had been formed, he travelled all the way by submarine into Southeast Asia. 3-month submarine journey. Now this is something unimaginable. It requires a lot of sheer grit and determination to do this. It was all due to his wish for India to gain her independence. He did all these selfless sacrifices so that we could see our own tricolor being unfurled every Independence Day.
The Provisional Government of Free India, which was a proper government in exile with its own currency, civil code, passport, ministries, and the army of the Indian National Army.
Thousands had joined the Indian National Army, and the battle with the Indian National Army was the bloodiest one which the British had ever fought. This has been stated in a document declassified in the year 2013 by the British government.
Red Fort Trials or the Indian National Army Trials was held with three INA soldiers, Shah Nawaz Khan, Colonel Prem Sahgal, and Gurubaksh Singh Dhillon. These trials shook the nation and naval mutiny occurred in 1946, which was the prime reason that the Britishers realized that they couldn't control India any longer as the military had rebelled.
Moreover, something very remarkable to mention here that the Indian National Army is the best example of unity in diversity and fraternity. People from all parts of the country and from all religions had joined the army. Such was Netaji's nationalistic spirit and selfless and service to the nation. His courage is something to be deeply admired. He's an epitome of bravery also, along with patriotism. So, on his 125th birth anniversary, we, the youth, who are going to be the future of this great country called India, must strive to work on his principles for the development of our beloved nation. Netaji Amar Rahe. Jai Hind!